Hello and welcome to the first Dark Mount review of 2015. Today I am taking a look at Overheat of MakeToys' Quantron, who is also known as Lightspeed of Computron. If you can keep that straight. So basically this is Lightspeed. It's probably what I'm going to call him for most of the review. But he does have two names, as do most third-party figures. So, in his alt mode, Lightspeed is like a bright orange Tron cycle kind of thing going on, but he's got two front wheels, so that's neat. He's got these giant missile pods on the side, and kind of like a long rifle sniper type situation up on the top here. And obviously, these are all attached parts, so I will show him off without those in a moment. But first, I'll do a size comparison with, and then we'll do another one without. So here he is with, I think it's a Universe Prowl. Believe me, in the past several weeks I haven't actually looked it up. And here he is with another Quantron figure, who we will talk about later. And these just peg in to the sides here. And this gun is a little strange. It clips on using these two little kind of a forked peg, and it clips into these two holes right there. Apparently my phone wants to be part of the review. Pardon me. And here he is with none of his weaponry on. So once again, here he is with Prowl. So he's got a lot of really nice detailing. This stuff up here is kind of covered by like a translucent plastic, so it looks very textured, but it's smooth. Smooth to the touch. You can kind of see the back of his head up here, but generally, if you have the little gun attached, you're not going to be seeing much of anything in there. It's got a lot of really nice tech detailing in here, and all the parts just fit together in a very interesting looking way. This little thing down here does disconnect. It is for the combined mode. It's a very cool feature. We'll show that off in the last video when we get him combined into Quantron. So yeah, I'm definitely a really big fan of this motorcycle mode, which is surprising because I almost always hate motorcycle modes, and ever since Prime RC, that's kind of not been the case, so cool. Yep, and now we will get into transformation. So the transformation on this guy is a little bit scary according to certain people. Depending on who you're asking, who you're talking to, they are scared of transforming this guy for various reasons. There is definitely a part when transforming these two leg sections down here that I could see why people would be concerned. I am not personally concerned by it. One, because I have had other MakeToys products, and their plastic quality is very, very high. And two, it is specifically designed to do this thing. So, if I did not have faith that they had quality tested their toys, I would be concerned by that. But they obviously have. I haven't really seen any reports of people actually breaking it so far. I could be wrong, but even if there are one or two, I don't think it's an issue. So, I will show that off. Otherwise, I think this guy's really awesome. So, let us start. The first thing you're going to want to do, I usually just come down here and disconnect that just so it's not hindering anything, because you are going to want to break the whole thing in half. Basically, you're using the two hip joints right here to pull this whole front half forward, which was pegged in via these two translucent plastic, very, very, very strong translucent plastic, not scary breakable. and that plugs into the hands that you can see right in there, like so. And it's very, very sturdy. So you're gonna pop those apart like that, and then what you can do is just kind of pop this whole front section apart in whichever way you like. It clips in, again, solidly, but not so hard that you're like prying it apart. So everything, all the tolerances, everything on this toy is very, very well tuned. So that adds to why I'm not concerned. So these are on kind of like, whatever they call that. They swivel down. And these will move as well, but for right now you can just leave those pegged in. And then these panels right here, you can see, will disconnect from the side. You have to kind of pull them out a little bit. And you can swing those around past all this stuff. You will have to pull them out a little bit, but again, they're designed to do this, so. And it'll be like that. You can just kind of point them straight down and leave them like that for now. And then right here, this whole wheel section can rotate up and around like that. And then you can come in here and split apart the two arms, which will let you split that whole part. These will swivel around to the sides on these. And then what you're going to want to do is just fold the arm to meet up with itself, and then swivel the arm around like that. The head was kind of flopped forward like this, so you're going to want to whip that back up. And then you can fold these back over the arms just to get them out of your way for now. You can do whatever you want with them when you're posing. You can fold these up, again, just to get them out of your way. And now comes the part that people do not like sometimes. You're going to want to split these two sections apart. In here, this whole little strip is a separate piece that can pull away and rotate in different directions. And because it is so thin, it has a certain amount of bend and give to it, and it's also on a very strong spring in there that sucks it back down into the section, so it's very firm. This is the part that a lot of people I see complaining about or saying they feel like they're going to break it or something. Basically what you have to do is pull this whole section up. Well, first you're going to want to just disconnect the foot. Kind of pegs in right there, like that. Now, what you want to do is just kind of separate this whole bit and spin it around, like so. And you're going to need to lift it up at a couple different places to clear it over different tabs, and then it will snap into place there. And then that's when you want to bend this back, and that will kind of form around the leg like so. Which, personally, I think this is one of the coolest leg transformations, like, ever. So, it also has another setting for combined mode, which, like, hooks it up differently, and we'll, again, see that in the last video. But I can understand why some people think that's a scary proposition, or it's scary to do, but, again, the plastic feels really super high quality. Even though you're kind of bending it upwards, I have no concern about it breaking. It feels very, very sturdy. Nothing is stressed at all. There are zero stress marks. I'm just really not worried about it. I understand wanting to be careful, and I would not be rough with that part. I wouldn't be like... I mean, just don't be dumb. Don't be overly, like, bendy. Pull it up carefully, and just rotate it around carefully, and then plop it back down in. It's a very sturdy mechanism. It's clearly designed to do exactly that, and I have no concern about it breaking. So, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'll be eating my words in a couple years, but I doubt it. And there, you basically have Lightspeed, or Overheat, in his robot mode. He's leaning forward a little bit. And he is an awesome looking figure. He's just got really cool proportions. He looks like I don't know, he looks like he's ready to spring into action or something. I enjoy these little wheel things on his shoulders. I really like kibble. I know that's a strange thing to say, but I like my robots to have some kibbly bits. I like seeing robot parts mixed in and vehicle bits mixed in. That to me is what makes a Transformer look cool. It gives them their own little special silhouette and makes them recognizable, adds some character. This guy pulls it off really well. None of the kibble gets in the way. You can undo this section if you want a waist rotation, which is really the only kibble part that gets in the way of anything. Much the same, these move in multiple different configurations, so there's really no place that it's going to impede any of your movement or your posability. So he does have that head floppy down. He's also got an actual ball joint on that head, so he's got a lot of motion, even without popping his head off. His arms go in and out on those kind of... seeing these more and more often on toys. I don't even know what to call them. Those are on ball joints, and they also move in and out for transformation. These wheels move here, they spin, and they move up and down. He has an upper arm rotation, a elbow joint, and hand rotation. And then also he has that transformation joint if you need to use that for something. He has waist rotation if you disconnect this thing on the back. And it is actually kind of ratcheted, which is nice. He has ball jointed hips, upper leg rotation, a knee joint that is kind of impeded by this kibble, but again, you can move that, so as long as you're willing to move a little piece out of the way. These are very sturdy too, so I wouldn't be worried about them snapping off. And then he's got kind of ball jointed on the side feet, so it's weird movement, but he's got a lot of it. You can do a lot of stuff with them. And you can keep a flat foot pretty much out to here, so that's good. He does come with those weapons that I showed off earlier. So he's got the rifle. And he's got these two missile pods. And you can hook these into there on the sides. You can hook them onto the back of the gun, but that's really hard to get any kind of posability out of. And you can also hook them up on the sides here, which is usually what I do. And these are kind of semi-hollow, but I will show you why in the last video. It's for the combiner bit. It's perfectly justified, I promise. And there he is with all of his weapons and stuff. And he's definitely a really, really good looking figure. For a size comparison, here he is with two of his wave mates. That's him with nose cone and strafe. And they definitely look really awesome together. As you can see, the set has a very nice kind of thematic look, but they all look very distinct from one another. And for another size comparison, here he is with some other chugs, with Scoop and Mirage. And hopefully you can see the difference in the orange that they're using here between the much brighter and glossier Hasbro orange. This is much more of a kind of a matte finish, and it's much darker. It's not coming off super well in the video, but it is several shades darker than the Hasbro's orange, and it is much less shiny. In fact, it's not really shiny at all. There's like zero shine. Yeah, so there's a good reference for the orange if you were curious exactly what kind of color that is. Looks really great. So my overall thoughts on this figure are, again, the same as they have been for the last two Quantron figures. It's awesome. It is worth every penny. I am thrilled that I decided to get this set. I think they're fantastic. They might be some of my favorite Transformers in my entire collection. MakeToys has completely blown me out of the water on these. They're really posable. They're very solid. Their transformations are awesome. Their color is all great. Their quality control is fantastic. I mean, they're in every single way that I could judge a third-party figure, this thing knocks it out of the park for me. There are definitely, and I think I've addressed this in the other reviews, there is a camp of people who think that these aren't worth it because they're small. Yes, they are small. I wouldn't deny that. They're definitely small deluxe size maybe at best. I don't need every single third-party figure to be like Feral Rex, like Voyager plus size. I don't need that. There's a... Size is not quality. I'm not saying that as a knock against MMC. I love the Feral Rex combiners. I really have liked Warbotron so far. They're bigger. I like the first Orden figure, Troll, is really nice, and he's a larger figure. I'm not saying I don't like that. I'm just saying that is not the thing that I judge everything by. How big is it? How big is the toy? Is not my first question. It's the design. And the design on this thing is fantastic. And I hate to say it, because again, I love Feral Rex, but I do actually prefer the designs and the transformations and the complexity of these toys to Feral Rex. I still love those toys. And I like Hercules, and I like my Uranos, and I mean, I don't know if I'm going to like the Warbotron Combine mode yet, but I believe I will. I like the figures, and I like the photos, so we'll see. I love these guys, so I cannot recommend them enough. If you are into Quantron, granted, we are in Combiner Wars right now, so you can also just wait to see if we get an official one that's like, you know, whatever, $40. So, but it's not going to be these. It's not going to be anywhere near these complex. It's not going to be this solid. They're just not. It might be a little bit bigger, but again, if this thing being bigger meant that they would have had to tone down the complexity of the parts and the transformation, I would keep it exactly how it is. In fact, I would keep these exactly how they are anyway. They're wonderful. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.